Hey Dreamer, please.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be checking out the new tier list after 6 months. It is already the half-year anniversary for 7 Nights 2 and we have come a long way. And over the past 2 months since the previous tier list, we have gotten 5 new heroes in total, so I've added them to the tier list right now and we will review all the parts of the tier list now. Okay, so for the first part we have the resist and revive heroes, and I've added Noho here because she is a shock resist provider. Okay, you may or may not have her, but I would strongly recommend in future, if her banner does come back, I think you should try to get her, especially for guild raid purposes, okay, which we'll talk about later. But she's added to the first column, a row, sort of like a must-have. But if you don't have her, for shock resist is completely fine because Henry Plus also doubles up as that, okay? And Karin is still here, and in future I really feel that there will be one more candidate that will be in the god tier level, which is Lina. Okay, but we'll talk about Lina along the way. She's still new, so I've included her in the various parts of the tier list. For the Scenario and Celestial Tower section, I have moved Adele previously from S tier to SS tier, seeing how he is extremely strong as a damage dealer, and he is also one that can be used in your fight against Lee. Okay, the infinite immunity strategy. Even though it's absolutely time consuming and it's very tedious and it's and requires a very specific build, but the fact that he can be used for that purpose, I feel that that alone is good enough for him to be in the SS tier. And of course, one more thing I forgot to mention is that I've included exclusive equipment heroes, the icon, on the heroes that have them, so you can determine easily which heroes have their exclusive equipment released in global server. And other changes in the SS tier include Ace, okay, because he has full AoE skills, which means he's going to be very good in clearing scenario very quickly for you. Same reason as why Yuri is here. And the reason why Velda is not is because Velda does have a single target. That's just the only reason why he is pushed to S tier. But I think Ace, okay, he's a very fast hero as well, so he is definitely going to be great against mobs if you are doing some map clearing kind of stuff. And maybe not so much in Celestial Tower. Okay, maybe not so much in Celestial Tower, but in just regular scenario, if you want to use him, he's very good. Lina is here in the SS tier as well. Lina is just amazing. She's such an amazing support. Okay, she increases movement speed, attack speed, and also heals, and also links your heroes to reduce the damage they take. So overall, she is just such an amazing hero that some people have already started replacing Karin with her because of her buffs. Yeah, so she's definitely SS tier. Now in the S tier, we have Kid Shane and Shay as the other 2 new heroes. Kid Shane, I think when you're still using her in scenario, even though her passive doesn't trigger, I think it's still extremely good because she has very fast AoE skills, right? And she can clear the mobs for you very quickly. Shay is in the S tier because of her revive, and she does heal quite a lot. So if you do happen to have a Shay, you can actually use her as a healer because she will be doing a lot of skills and she will heal your entire team and keep them healthy for a long period of time. It's just how Serena used to work for scenario, same scenario, except that Shay is even better because she has a revive and you may not even need Karin. In that case, you can even run Legend Shay and Lina for the maximum amount of buffs and healing. Okay. There should be one more hero, I think Noho. And I don't think I put Noho in the scenario category, but I think she is great as a damage dealer, but it's just that because 3 of her skills are all just buffs, your damage duration may be slightly longer, that's all. Okay, but I believe Noho, I can definitely squeeze her in the S tier for sure. Then we have Field Expedition, and I know Field Expedition is now completely just offline, so it really doesn't matter which team you use or which heroes are good for Field Expedition, but nonetheless, I just want to cover this since it's already here. For the normal Field Expedition, I've not split them into tiers, but rather their roles. The first part is all the tanks. You probably just need 1 tank or even no tanks at the moment, since you just have to clear the mobs very easily to let offline Field Expedition happen, right? So you just have to throw in your highest CP heroes anyway. And then you have the healers here. Lina is also fantastic because if you're actually doing online Field Expedition, she's going to help you to increase your movement speed and attack speed, especially in future when Hell difficulty comes out. right? Lina, you probably will take some damage, and Lina will actually trigger the movement speed boost, and that will really help in your farming timing as well. And then you have all the AoE damage dealers, and of course Kit Shane is here because she is a Field Expedition specialist after all. And in future when Hell difficulty comes out, she's going to play a major role in your farming for specific accessories as well. And then also we have the single target damage dealers here. Okay, they are all used to deal with the bosses in normal Field Expedition, but also I think their utility has dropped a bit because you don't really need to farm the bosses anymore. You can still rely on your offline Field Expedition to get the loots. Okay, and then you have Greater Field Expedition. I've put Noho here. Okay, Noho because she's great against the bosses, the single bosses. Lina, of course, as always, Lina is just fantastic in everything, in every mode really. So that's why I'm considering putting her in the God tier in future. And then we also have Adele still here, because the reason why Adele is in the S tier and not the SS tier is because he will rely on Rachel quite a bit in terms of damage. So if you're just reusing Adele on his own, he won't be as good as a damage dealer until he pairs up with Rachel. Okay, and then we also have I don't think Ace is here. Ace is just not it right here. I put Ace in the AoE though, for normal Field Expedition, but not in Greater Field Expedition. And then we also have Shay. I don't think Shay is gonna be that great in Greater Field Expedition. I mean, the reason why I say that is because why would you use her over Lina? Right, that's the only reason why. I mean, I could squeeze her in as here, at most in the S tier. Yeah, but there's no reason why you would use her over Lina or even Karin as well. Then we have the raids category. For the raids category, I've also shifted Adele from the S tier to the SS tier because of the fact that he can be used with Rachel in certain raids, and he does huge amounts of damage. And you can also use him in auto clearing raids. Okay, manual AFK clearing raids. Yeah, with Rachel, especially in Nestra Shane raids or Lizardra. You know, he's very strong, especially with his exclusive equipment. So that's why I pushed him up to the SS tier. And then for Noho, I think she's great as a DPS, but probably also because of the reason she has 3 buff skills, so it could be a little slower. Okay, and that's why she's in the S tier. And I've moved Yonhee down, I believe, from the SS tier because she's no longer initially we thought she would be great in the Nestra Shane raid, but not at all. Okay, not at all, but she's still an option, so she's there. And then Lina again, of course, in the SS tier. Some of you guys may decide to not use Karin anymore and use Lina. That's completely fine, because with your Immortal and Rage accessories, I believe you'll be able to nuke down the bosses very quickly as well. Okay, especially with Lina's buffs. So Lina is a very viable hero in the 4-man raid as well. And then we have Salio's raids. The only one I included here is Noho. I put Elshay here. She is also possible as a healer, I believe. Okay, if you have Elshay and maybe Serena, you get a lot of healing. So definitely possible in the Salio's raid. And I think the rest are not here. Like, you're not going to have Ace here. You're not going to have Kit Shane at all, for sure. And yeah, that's basically those two. Those two are not used in PvE much, okay? And then we have Lina as well in the SS tier. I mean, she's always in the SS tier, to be honest. She buffs your entire team very well, and even if you're doing a multi-player raid, I think having a Lina there is also going to be very beneficial because of the attack boost. Okay, otherwise you can go with Chris for that. Yeah, but Lina is just amazing. Even for the catastrophe raid, Lina is also a healer, which goes very well for what you need to do in a catastrophe raid. And of course, legendary Shay is the best healer for the catastrophe raid, honestly. I've seen her healing, it's insane. Okay, so she's the best, and this is probably the only place where you will see her in SS tier. Okay, and then Ace is not used in catastrophe raid, I believe, but you may, he may be just an A tier hero because of his AoEs. Kit Shane is here for her AoEs in case you ever need that, but honestly anything below the SS tier shouldn't even be used. because for the catastrophe rate you will really need to focus on healing instead of damaging. Okay. And then for guild rate, okay, Noho is squeezed in all the way here as the suppressor and also the shock resistor, which we have talked about. But more importantly, she's the suppressor, so she will cause your Thunder Dragon to be extremely easy because she will nullify all the electric fields on the ground. Okay, Lina also, she's a great hero now, added to guild rate roster. And of course, I moved Claire down because now we have Noho and there's less need for Claire. But of course, if you do have Claire and you don't have a co-set, or you're using co-set in another raid, you know, and you're lacking range damage dealers, you can always rely on Claire as well. And I think Legendary Shay has a chance to be used, although many people have told me that Legendary Shay doesn't survive very well, okay, in certain dragons. But I think based on her healing and her skills, she's still able to do something in guild rate if you really lack certain heroes in the SS tier. Okay, the SS tier heroes are just really good, and in future, as we progress, I think Dylan's and Miss Velvet may drop to the S tier for the reason because they are jumpers, and jumpers are not preferred in guild rate, okay, in the long run. But right now, because many players have a lack of heroes, right, these three are still in the SS tier and they're still very strong for sure in what they do. Okay, and in future they'll get even stronger with their exclusive equipment as well. But overall, jumpers not so preferred in guild rate. Okay. And then we have the dungeons. Okay, for the dungeons, for the gold dungeon, I've added Lina. If you've seen the video I've made, Lina is amazing there as well. I can't stress that enough. Lina is just amazing everywhere. Some people have told me Kit Shane can be used in gold dungeon. That's completely fair because she uses AoE skills. And then I think Ace as well. Ace is also a great hero to pull the piranhas together and kill them in very fast speed. Okay, so Ace is also possible in a gold dungeon. Noho, no. Okay, not here. And I think Legendary Shay also not as recommended when you have normal Shay here to increase your outs and also to heal you. For the Soulstone dungeon, I've removed all the melee heroes now that we have T15. Okay, so Miss Velvet, who used to be here and used to be well loved in the Soulstone dungeon, I don't think she can be used anymore. Okay, not that I've seen videos, I've not seen any videos of that, like, unfortunately. So if you can, I mean, if you still believe that she's still good in T15, I mean, just let me know. Okay, so all the range heroes, all the main range damage dealers are the best in the Soulstone dungeon, with Lina of course. And then you also have other alternatives such as Shay for here, the ultimate gauge increase. I've thrown in Yuri and Juju here as very desperate alternatives, just in case some of you guys may not have Noho or Chris. Okay, so these two, they can still be used, but your damage output will suffer. And then for the Rune and Elixir dungeon, you can actually use the same kind of teams. For my videos, I've shown you guys that I use Shay, Lina and range heroes. Of course, I've seen many people also use melee heroes. And in fact, if you were to auto farm the dungeon, in fact, melee heroes are better because melee heroes can actually dodge those very deadly crisscross attacks, especially in the Elixir dungeon. For the Rune dungeon, I don't think it really matters. Okay, because as long as you have one person in front who can absorb the damage, I think that will be good enough. And for the experience dungeon, we have all the melee heroes. Okay, they're all very good in that dungeon with Lina. Or if you really want some safety, you can always use Rudy, but I don't think it will be as good as Lina. Okay, so all the melee heroes are great in this dungeon. No range heroes are completely taken out as well. Finally, for PvP, we have Ace at the top of his game right now, okay, with other L+ heroes including Ming, Shane with her exclusive equipment, Rudy Plus actually may have fallen off in utility, in usage, okay, at the top tier, but I'm pretty sure you still see him very commonly because he's just so good. Chris Plus, Yuri, and Evan Plus. Rudy with his exclusive item also has bumped up his utility quite a bit in PvP, and Nestra Shane right now is just also very good. And if you meet ace comps that use range heroes, meeting a Nestra Shane is quite deadly because Nestra Shane will just go for the range hero and slap them to death. So that's why the usage for Nestra Shane has also gone up. Velda has unfortunately fallen off in terms of usage, and utility because of Ace. Of course, if you're not using Ace, then Velda is your next best puller, but now that Ace is here, Velda definitely won't see as much use. Okay, the other range heroes that are used with Ace have also maintained kind of a position, because to be honest, the range comms with Ace, they are kind of used as much as the other previous comps, the tankier alpha male comps like Evan plus Chris and the double Rudies. Okay, the reason for that is because when they released the Mirage accessory right with this particular update as well, it kind of hurt Ace's capabilities a bit, and it also affected the usage and utility of the range debuff casters, right? So they're still in the S tier. I won't push them to the SS tier for those reasons. Okay, for Dina, Eileen, and Spike, they have maintained their positions in the S tier. Okay, because especially for Spike, he's seen more use with the exclusive equipment being built as well. Okay, he's actually pretty strong. We also have Legendary Shay here with Karin to give you a tank comm. The tank comm is also very strong with double Rudies, Karin and Shay, or Chris, 1 Rudy and 2 healers. That kind of comm is very tanky and is going to see a rise in future when Jave comes out as well. And then we have 3 other heroes here who are less used, but probably still can be used. Okay, Len, Aquila, and Evan. They still do have their utility, I believe, in PvP, but just not used as much. There are heroes like Dylan's and Miss Velvet who we no longer see almost at all in PvP, so they have fallen off this entire list. Okay, so this is the overall tier list at the half year mark. Let me know what you guys think, and if you have any questions or thoughts, do leave them in the comments, and I will gladly edit the tier list in future as well. And also do let me know how often you wish to see such videos. Big shout out to my channel members, Tom, Gonzalo, Jeremy, Chilling, Nick, Yamaki, Kevin, Valence, and Harlem for their support. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you so much, and see you!